Welcome back to the desert, sir.
Thank you.
A little different than it looks like in the summertime, huh?
I'm ready to mud bog.
Yeah, right? Much like the seasons changing throughout the year, my ideas and whims could change by the moment. I like to keep it exciting, and I'm glad Alan's here for the ride. Got this little switcheroo going on in the shop also. It's a little something different than we've done before.
Okay.
And we've done some crazy stuff.
Whew, here we go. What is this?
This is the rolling chassis of our next project.
Man.
When he calls me to come out, I'm pretty clueless to what we're gonna do until I get here, and then he drops the bomb. I mean, I didn't know what direction we were going. There's nothing besides a chassis.
It's a little bit of a lot of things. It's a 1938 Cadillac chassis, and I just wanted to update everything. So it's got the classic Camaro front clip. Whole drivetrain is Lincoln Mark 7, 1987. Ford 5.0 high output engine, automatic trans, four-wheel disc, power steering, and air suspension. Ta-da.
38 Cadillac, isn't it supposed to be like
2 feet longer, yeah.
Wow.
It's a 100-inch wheelbase now. I shortened the chassis way up. I moved the engine back about 20 inches and lowered that down to the ground, and then C-notched the rear end.
Nice.
This is pretty serious business, but don't take me too serious. We're building a full-on clown car here. When you're standing next to it, I want you to feel a little nervous.
Well, it's working, because I'm already nervous and I'm standing right next to it.
I think Alan's an artist at heart, so I know that he is down for this kooky idea. Consider this a blank slate. There's nothing going on here. What we're gonna put on is really where the figuring out and the styling comes in.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, I saw the look in his eyes.
I got a whole trailer full of potential. You gotta see this. This is ye old, carefully curated pile of parts.
Look like a pile of scraps to me.
What?
You know, I'm walking up to the trailer and I'm seeing all these parts, and I guess there's a little potential in there, but I mean, really, you're just like,
Look at this. Look at that tail light.
Okay, give it a couple points.
Look at these.
I'll see you.
Look at the fenders.
so this is a luxury scrap pile.
It's a luxury scrap pile. It's not your average scrap pile. Look at the hood.
The hood looks like the size of the chassis.
Yes, it does. Well, it's a whole 1938 Cadillac body, and then a little Dodge thrown on the back for good measure. You got a lot of curves. You got a lot of cool accessories. We're gonna build our own version of this kind of shape of sheet metal.
It's like, oh man, here we go again.
I'm up for the challenge.
I think you need some help with your optimism, my man. Let's get this in the shop and you're gonna see the light.
I need to see something, because all I see is scrap.
He doesn't give me much. It's kind of, he leaves me on the edge every time. He gives me just enough to know what we're doing at the moment, but I don't know which direction we're gonna go with it. It's pretty nerve-wracking a little bit.
Yeah, look at that. Laid on the ground. That's got character.
Man, looking at it like that's a little different.
Here, take that jack and raise her up and lower her down. Right?
Ooh, buddy. No, that's super low. That's when you're scared of heights.
Plop it on down. Look at that, man.
Ooh, baby, now that looks good.
Right? I mean, this is par for the course. My idea is always take a little bit of warming up to. You know, it starts with, wow, this guy's nuts. And then it's like, wow, this has got potential, but this guy's still nuts. But let's do it. How are you gonna send that to the scrapyard?
Man, I see it now. Shame on me.
Talking all that scrap.
I know.
You gotta see the front fenders, it gets even better. Yeah, dude, look at the flow. Up, and then up again, all the way to the front.
Sexy, sexy.
See how the wheelbase changes everything?
It changes the entire,
It's not a big limousine,
no. Sit there and be like Cruella de Vil.
right? My thought was the headlights either level with the hood or just a little bit above the hood. I mean, the whole hood just pancaked. You see what I'm feeling, man?
It's all attitude.
I mean, I think it's a super cool look.
No, it really is. And when you look at the wheels, where the wheels sit and the fender sits, you look like you have no engine in there.
This is one of the reasons I wanted the engine so low and drop back in that chassis. I mean, look at the hood height. It looks impossible. It's It's got the big bug-eye headlights on top. I mean, this is the kickoff point. This is what I was hoping to see. Obviously, it's gonna need to be sectioned. The back's gonna need to be totally rearranged. I guess we start by positioning the cowl where it belongs and then start building body structure. You know, right now it is 5 pieces of loose scrap metal.
Scrap metal.
The first step is just a few trims off of this cowl so we can see what we're up against as far as proportions. Look at that height difference. Alan, your firewall's on fire. Don't call it a hot rod for nothing. That's the tricky part at this stage because, you know, I want impossible proportions, but you gotta look graceful in the impossibility. Look at this sloppy jalopy. It's coming together already.
I personally think he gets a kick out of me sitting there dumbfounded, trying to figure out what's gonna be next.
I'm feeling it, man. One authentic pirate ship steering wheel, and we are off to the races. It's a pretty loose mock-up, but I think this ship is just about ready to sail. I'm in love with it already. You haven't lost one yet, Captain.
No, sir.
Just getting started. The next step is to continue with the cowl and get into position to work with the hood and the fenders. I'm going for maximum chop, and a little bit too much, it's not gonna fit. So it's kind of a make it or break it moment. Looks like we can section it a lot. You know, if you're looking at this, you could even do up to like a 10-inch section before you get into that, because the hood should be landing here.
On top.
Think maybe let's try an 8-inch section. I mean, that's still huge.
That's a lot.
Sounds ludicrous, but it makes a little sense.
8 is great.
8 is great.
Over this winter, I lost pretty much my best friend. Our shop inspector, dude. The cancer got him. It's been pretty quiet around the shop lately. When dude walked in the door, he was just weeks old, and he took right to it. He became the shop inspector immediately. He was such a ham. I never knew a dog with such robust attitude. He was enthusiastic, he was always there 100% for the cause, and man, he loved his treat. The one big takeaway I got from my relationship with him was that I didn't even understand what compassion was, I think. Something that I really learned, how to care for something other than myself in that kind of way. We were bonded, right? Pretty cool. Lil's been here for quite a while as well. She's with dude for more than half of his life, so it's only fitting that we introduce some young blood. To what honor do we owe the visit? The shop inspector's shoes are big ones to fill. I think he's feeling a little intimidated.
Very intimidated.
I haven't heard a word out of you since we got you. Once the word hits the street on the unusual proportions going on in the shop, the inspectors come in like flies on honey.
I think he wants to pee on the tire.
I don't know, you're just a baby. He's all smiles and licks for now, but he's only 17 months old. I'm sure his critique is going to develop. I'm coming over. Yeah, while we're upside down, let's just get in, we'll clean all this out. This hardware should come apart and the wood should just come out.
Man, what this thing come out of? Noah's Ark?
By retaining these hood mounting points, it's gonna assist me in lining up everything. 8-inch section is gonna be massive. I don't know if it's gonna make the door hinge alignment weird, but we gonna find it. Super heavy.
It's got to be that radio that's so heavy.
Is it that heavy?
What kind of radio is that?
I think because we didn't mess with any of these mounting points, we could bolt this or clamp it right to the chassis and just set the lid on, see how it looks. Wow.
I know. That looks radical, man. Maybe we should have went 7 inches, maybe.
Plenty of room. No, it was exact. You couldn't have sectioned it 8 1/4 inches. That's for sure. That's the name of the game. We're not going halfway on this project. It's Pedal to the metal, Captain.
Look at this. Here.
I mean, we're doing it right. Clearance for days.
Oh, buddy, look at that.
The hood hinge bolts line up.
Thing gives me the chill bumps, man. Look at that thing.
This is exactly what I was thinking from the start. It's like the cartoon supervillain's car, right? This is his getaway car. He's like, he gets in his car, he's gone. What we're dealing with is we want to use the hinges right here, right? But I love the look of the round back of it. We're gonna have to fuse the two doors together. We're gonna have to use the front of the front door and the back of the back door.
So you're going from a 4-door to a more door.
It will be more of a door than what it wore before. As cockamamie car building ideas are these anyway. The first step in the door process is to section the door frame, make sure that the hinges are parallel and see if it's gonna go. We could cut this structure apart from the skin and just move this box. Boom, move the hinges back together.
And then the bottom of the door will be hanging, and we just trim off the excess.
Theoretically.
In theory, it sounds perfect.
Hey, at least we have a good theoretical plan. Sometimes I have a plan that's disastrous in theory from the start. You're always trying to cut through the flattest part. So look at that, 8 inches. We got our hinges in place. So this goes away, and then this slides to that. Make me look good.
Woo,
Make
one
me
shot.
look like a champion.
No pressure, right?
That's gonna just slip up like we described. Then we cut off the bottom later. While Alan finishes up the door section, I'm gonna cut apart the rear door so we can merge the two together for our super door. Don't move a muscle, I got the perfect look for you. It's giving you trifocals. Can't be too prepared.
Now look at this door.
Mini door. Stick it in that hole over there, see if it works. Yeah, give it the wiggle jiggle. Ooh, looky there. I think we're gonna cut right through both skins. We're gonna loosen it right up. Let's just do a big rough cut and we'll shut it up. Yeah, wow.
Yeah, no seams through the door, because it all looks like we can just put it back together and drive it.
I'm starting to channel Victor now. No, we're looking at this. We're looking at proportions. I gotta put on the right blinder because the back is so out of proportion right now. From that rear tire forward, this thing is gnarly. It's just like, okay, put one hand there. Look at that, wow. It's all about self-esteem. Just lie to yourself. Lie right through the process and hope you come out on top.
I'm seeing it now. We're in the same boat and we're paddling.
Once we got the cowl fitting on there really good, we got the front end put on. It's just looking like a roadster, and I'm thinking, man, this is gonna be pretty rad.
Next challenge is like, what happens with the windshield and that rear deck? That's really bugging me.
Yeah, that thing looks like a stink bug back there.
Yeah. There's no glory in the underpinnings. It's all just fabrication, no styling. So we got all this business tied together. Did front structural support, got the cowl all welded together, top and bottom, bolted the fenders on, started this little tube chassis to support the rear of the car, and tied it all in with sheet metal. The gas tank in this Cadillac, like so many other cars, hung below the floor in the trunk. Because it's so low, we don't want that to rip on any obstacles in the road, so we're bringing it up into the trunk a bit. Yeah.
There it is.
Everything we've done so far is just pure layout. The next step is styling the roofline, but I want to get everything secure. You know, now it's a car again, but it's like anything goes. Is it a roadster? Is it a fastback? I mean, it could be anything. This is gonna have to move down to here somewhere. Let's just cut this off. I got a couple ideas. I think the back end of this car was beautiful as is, but as soon as we sectioned it, it was like, whoa, look at this massive overhang. We gotta do something stat. Sometimes the best way to see through a project is to break it down to a blank slate and start adding back on. All right, let's put this on the table.
Everything on this car was built so big. I mean, most of the time that was your luxury car in the 30s. So now we're trying to go from a luxury car to a speedster or roadster or Hot Wheels or whatever it is.
I mean, it's so low, it's like it's almost lost some of its presence. You know?
Right.
It's like it's just down to nothing.
It's like the saying, how low can we go? We're there.
I've never been one to say, whoa, this car's too low, but I mean, come on, who's gonna be cruising this thing? A couple of chipmunks?
Seems like we were going in one direction and now we're going the total opposite.
It looks so good. I'd hate to busy it up with a whole bunch of styling that would take away from the look of those two boat tail fenders.
Right, it's almost like less is more.
Yeah. I think we should put this welder away and grab some of those scrap parts. Do a little stacking.
Back to the scrap pile.
The old Dodger Lodger. This is the third project that this one's involved in. These are the remaining pieces from the camper project. I always love the fastback look, you know, in comparison to the Cadillac, that square back of the roof, I love this.
Yeah, you can't beat the fastback look.
Maybe it'll work. Let's try it out.
Yeah, let's see.
My favorite body style, hands down, is the slope back roof, like that 47 Dodge. Wow, I don't know, man. That like fits too good. Like it needs to be chopped for sure, but
Woo, come on now.
right?
Dang, dude.
That works good.
Whoa. If you follow the body line on the Dodge, it follows the fender.
Right? The
Exactly.
trim works perfect.
Every time we put a new part on it, it completely changes the direction of the build. You know, we think it's going this way and all of a sudden it's going that way. And sometimes we gotta go backwards.
I mean, we have no back window. We have no deck lid. It's all been used on the Bug. No roof skin. So there's that.
That's a lot of problems in one
package, right?
one package,
Yeah.
definitely.
Pains me to my core to be the voice of reason, but sometimes the shoe fits, or doesn't even exist in this case. Maybe we should put the Cadillac roof back on and just check out the window, because it's like this is gonna have to meet the front windshield somewhere, you know?
And see what it looks like.
Yeah.
I agree.
She's a biggin'. Whoa, wait a second. Wait a second. Look at that. It's a station wagon. Oh, that's right, I shortened it 22 inches. It's like, holy station wagon.
You can see it now.
That's a freak show. Yapple dapple.
You know, the best accidents are happy accidents, right?
I'm happy. Putting that Cadillac roof on there, the Squareback, it knocked me out. I'm just like, I had not seen that before.
It just screams old school gangster. It's low, it's wide, it's rusty. It's just so cool.
I hated this window. Now I love it. I mean, it's got so much more character down there without a big trunk.
Right, it looked like driving Miss Daisy.
I said I wanted you to feel uncomfortable standing next to it. How do you feel?
I'm uncomfortably loving it.
That's like ridiculous. That's not what I was looking for at all. This is the reason you gotta stay open-minded, you know? If you're working on a project and you got it set A through Z, how are you gonna find that inspiration? Sometimes that thing you think you might despise could be the diamond in the rough. I still think it needs a chop. I think we need at least a 2-inch chop through the windshield. I mean, look at that visor. Oh! Oh! That's what an old-fashioned car crash used to sound like. A little more tude, a little more attitude.
A lot more attitude.
We're making a station wagon, whatever it takes.
That's it, for real.
Right?
That's it, I mean, it really is. So I guess the best plan of attack is to have no plan of attack.
100%.
I'm learning.
Why don't you set up the welder and start doing those A-pillars? Let's just tack it on. Stick that Dodge side back on there. Like if you squint, right? So it's like, then you got this little bean-shaped window, and then, you know what I mean? It's like that big back.
It gets more complicated as we go on. But the look is what we're chasing, you know?
At this point, we need to get rid of a few unwanted elements, so let's just cut some stuff apart, change some lines, and see where we go from there. Oh, wow. Knock it that way just a little bit. That's pretty weird.
I didn't think it was gonna work, man, but
That's the weirdest station wagon ever. And then this is the door top. Just skin this out. That's gonna land right about there, huh? You know what I mean? It's like, then it gets it gets weird. Or does it get weird? I mean,
I don't know. We've been swimming in the sea of weird all week long with no floaters.
there's a razor sharp fine line between building something that's different and something that's just plain wrong. Ask me how I know. I don't know if I'm happy with the back window. Does it work, or are we just getting too full of ourselves? Having trouble with that. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. We're back to the big square part that I didn't like from the start.
Exactly.
It's got a real odd feeling. I don't think it's a very good looking car at this point.
Everything's going great until you get punched in the face.
After a loose mock-up, I had the old stare down with the car. Had to figure out what I liked and what I didn't like.
Knock, knock.
What's happening?
Hey, what's going on?
I made a couple changes.
I see the window's gone. Man, did you lower the roof?
2.5.
2.5
2.5
inches.
inches. You know, the fenders are sloping, the hood is level, and the roof is doing that stink bug, you know, the hood and the roof are colliding.
When the window was out of there, all of a sudden the back of the roof doesn't look like this huge bubble anymore. The hood is so long, the fenders are so long, and then you got this roof line that's just so long and smooth and goes all the way to the back. It just looks so good.
For some reason, the Dodge windows, none of it's even working for me. If we were to change the whole thing to a Dodge style roof, rear window included, then all the Art Deco business, you got bump, 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 window, right?
Right,
The
it gets a little
Cadillac
busy there.
doesn't offer any of that.
I do remember that it made this look extra big.
If the Dodge windows are just putting us in the wrong direction, what about the stock Cadillac door tops? Right? That's what was in the door.
So this was the rear window.
That's the rear of the four-door car.
Okay.
And then this is the front. So they were like this. It's a four-door. Boom, boom. Look how long that is. That's a massive
huge.
entry. So I was like, well, shoot. I mean, these go right back in the door.
Oh man, yeah.
Right?
I mean, if it's back,
We would do the old switcheroo. That goes there, and we got extra long. So we only have one weld in the center instead of two when you splice it in. So it all lines up. And I also had an idea for the back of this. So I had this piece of the Dodge roof. I don't think I want a window in the back at all.
the Dodge lives on.
It's a little piece and everything.
I mean, it really solves the problem of the big gap in the back.
You got rust, you got chrome, you got slope. What's not to like?
The trick is just to make it look like it came that way. Make it look like it was a two-door from the beginning.
I'm doing the two tricks with one trick. While Alan wraps up that door, I'm gonna get started on our new old window frames. Let's throw a B-pillar in, and then we can attach that sheet. Like the rest of the car, I wanna keep these doors in loose assembly before we commit to anything. It's really one piece at a time and everything all at once. Pretty good for a mock-up. So the Dodge drip rail might actually make the cut. The only piece.
Oh.
We'll meet the Cadillac right about where the visor is. And then they'll put a little hood over this chrome so it just looks more factory.
Yeah, the drip rail gives it so much attitude.
Heck yeah. Let's do the old magnet mock-up. Oh yeah, see? That brings the line right through. All the scars from the welding, they tend to confuse things, but look at that.
I know, and it matches the fender still.
It does.
How does that happen? Drip rails are like the cherry on top.
It's more of a custom trick to shave the drip rails. It just gives that car that super smooth, unbroken line appearance. So adding it in kind of messes with some folks. In a perfect world, this would just go right down. And we could
Right.
pull this to that shape, but I wonder if we could take that deck lid and maybe make something happen here. There's no turning back now. Grab a side.
All right, let's see.
On the car, you know, it's sitting like this, but I
Right.
started looking at it sideways, a little lean, and I'll be darned if that curve doesn't look like it matches the curve of the back window. You know, typically the car would be like that.
Right.
No, 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 I'm talking about this. Look at that.
Oh, man.
I'm quite amazed, actually. To take something that's horizontal and make it vertical, and it works, gives me a shiver.
It looks like it just might work.
It's so sneaky. People are gonna think it's some kind of mutant Cadillac from another dimension.
It's scraptastic.
Alan and I took some time. We got the roof structure locked in place, and now it's time to get this deck lid fit up and assembled. I want it to work just like it used to, but in a smaller form, the little handle, the latches, the whole kit. These are gonna get trimmed back to fit up with that, and then this is gonna get cut and widened, and then the sides are gonna get cut and fit in, and then they're all gonna get welded to the car before we take it to the cruise night.
Next week.
I was hoping to go this afternoon.
This afternoon.
Instead of cutting all this apart, what if we just took this mechanism out and split this?
Probably make life a little easier.
I think so. Right now, we're in the discovery phase. We're just slamming this together as proof of concept. If this idea holds water, we'll come back and clean it all up. It's even got the authentic haunted house sound.
Yeah,
How many welds did we put in that thing?
probably 1008.
Latch works, hinges work, surround is there. This worked out pretty clean, man. Very satisfied. I mean, having a back hatch on the station wagon is sort of a critical thing because you got to get in there. And having this one as a miniature thing with a fixed window, it makes almost no sense at all. It's just perfect. Corners are going to be a challenge. You got a pretty tight curve. How's it all come together?
Every day is a different view because, like, we don't have these parts on it yet. We put them on and it completely changes the entire build.
There ain't no room for junk in that trunk. There's only funk in the trunk. Once we put that deck lid on, it was like, okay, the roof can work for sure. Let's just carry on with these doors. Finished parts of the rocker panels, put some structure in through here, little skin up and into the car. Biggest part of the day was creating these tube structures in the doors. Both sides are pretty much square, gaps are close, and they shut proper. With each cosmetic design change we come up with, we gotta come in twice as hard on the reinforcement part of the thing. There's gotta be structure to secure everything, so what you're seeing is just the surface. It's kind of a left brain, right brain thing all at the same time. The last of the outside skin are these rear quarters. We might have those stock ones that we could cut and do the whamma-jamma to. I don't know.
That'd be in a perfect world.
I mean, we can clearly see the metal's got to do this, right? And then come to a curve. But I don't know if that sheet metal can afford that. It's already a stamped piece. I mean, it looks like it fit, right? You know as well as I know, there's no piece of that car that's truly unusable until we try it, flip it, and really explore it in many different configurations. It's the flip it upside down and put it on the other side trick. Driver's side, flip it and reverse it to the passenger side.
Working with Ian is very challenging. I mean, I have to stay open-minded because some of his ideas are like head scratchers.
And we have a whole range of curvature we can choose from.
I mean, pretty much it fits like everything else did in the beginning.
Like a glove. Would it work if we tried, say, to put this here? Maybe that'll even
Oh
work.
man, that
Look at
kind of looks pretty good.
You know what? Whoever came up with that flip it upside down and reverse it technique is cockamamie. That works. This works much better.
Might be on to something there.
It takes a big man to admit he was wrong. Let me know when you find them, because I'd like to give them a piece of my mind. Let's try this for the heck of it. The challenge here is that we have these really deep dished curves, and then it's not needing that much of a dish.
Oh, okay. You're getting somewhere. Look at this. It might go.
It's a real compound curve. It's kind of like a saddle and a horse. It's like this way and then this way at the same time. Yeah, just give it a nice.
Sweet.
I got my Ace Fabricator welder on this one. I ain't scared. That's the story, sir. Later, I might put a bumper. You know, I'm not sure how it's gonna trim out in the end, but the sheet metal, look, it's complete.
Fenders come out, they come back in, and then the smiley face,
Yeah.
boat tail, voila.
Looking at the back of this is pretty surprising. You know, it's full custom for sure. Kind of weird, a lot of nonsense, not very user-friendly. Win. And I know you got to take off, but the party's just starting. Like we just got a raw idea started here. You know, it is that pile of scrap that was on the trailer.
What have we created?
For sure. I mean, we slammed on this thing.
I think just the love of customs is to be able to create something from nothing. You see that pile of junk in your backyard? Don't throw it away. It may be something special.
I got a lot of ideas still to go on this, but Alan and I made some serious strides, you know, some heavy-hitting decisions at the beginning of this whole trip. There's just one last thing, man. The last of his legacy.
Oh, man.
Right? So I
Wow.
think had he been here, you would have been approved.
Man, thank you so much. Yes, it's like, ooh, all the way from dog heaven.
The heavy fabrication, like the structure of the car is complete. It's there, 100%. Now it's like, all right, it's a pretty weird design. You know, how do we start to tie this together? You got this square back end and like a nice flowing fender. It's not a perfect harmonious balance, but the more I was looking at it, it's like, well, what's really bugging me? It's actually the wheel opening. There's also one issue that's been bothering me because we're very deep into the fabrication at this point, and there's still no piece of Volkswagen in this project. So I think we're gonna put a piece in. So this is a piece of the leftover roof skin from that chop top Volkswagen Johnny Jalopy and I did. Like it's got just about as much crown as that fender does. And then it wraps this way as well. Look at that, it's like just like the fenders want to do. They roll right under. So that there might be a donor if I got enough room. Oh yeah, look at that. I think what I'm gonna do is make a wood buck hammer form, it's called. Sort of like what I did on the bubble top project, where you have a backboard and then you have a retaining ring, but instead of heating plexiglass and inflating it, we're gonna clamp it down and hammer the edge so it's kind of like a little dish. One question I get on the regular is how do I keep coming up with ideas for new projects? I just always have a million different ideas, and really it's about like what's presented to me. You know, I don't like specifically hunt for a certain thing. It's mostly like kind of what washes up. Immediately your eye is going through here like, okay, well that'll be the bottom of the fender. Some skirts will have like a little raise in it and like a teardrop sort of flowing out like the fender. I'm gonna put the steel in place and then make that decision. Volkswagen roof sandwich. Why am I using this many clamps, you may ask? I'm about to beat the living heck out of this with a big old hammer. Nice little dish. I think the most important aspect of this type of thing is confidence. Don't hit it with questions, hit it with answers. You're gonna tell that metal what to do. I was thinking maybe there would be like a little deco swoop kind of at the bottom of the thing, but that back fender line is right there. I'm gonna put that right in the sheet metal brake, straight shot. The back of the fender comes right through. No wheel opening. Now the question arises, how are you gonna keep that thing in place? I think I was gonna put a couple simple clips. Let the tow truck driver figure it out. People ask all the time, oh, how do you get the tire off of that car? It's like, I don't care. sipping a margarita by the seaside while AAA's over there, digging my car out of a mud puddle. This car building thing is not all it's cracked up to be. It'd probably be me laying in the mud puddle with a Phillips screwdriver, not even a screw gun, cursing the world. Ooh, that classies it up. Straight shot, no extra action. Puts that back end on the ground for sure. I just want to prove one thing to my brain before we go any further. My whole MO in this shop is problem solving. If I see something that's not pleasing to my eye, I'm going to work to it and try to remedy it. Carry on. See that already starting to come in. Colors and shapes matter. I just need to breathe some paint fumes to really get in the zone. And I gotta say, I'm feeling a lot better about this. I just want to blank out the hard contrast between the skirt and the fender. In the end, I'm gonna work on that. I didn't know how this was gonna work out like most other things. VW roof equals fender skirt in this town. I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side. Boom, boom, boom. Back is just about there. Front's pretty loose. It's time to bring it all together. All right, getting onto the front end of this thing. It came with all of this chrome grille stuff in the trunk, but it looks like it was from two different cars. So I'm gonna try to put this antique pile of mess back into something that looks like a car grille. The hidden mysteries of car building. Never a dull day. Look at this dimension on this thing. It's like freaking Star Trek or something. Boomerang from outer space. Wow. Look at that. Looks like we're off to a normal start. 1 minute in and I'm already digging the hole deeper. This piece of tin was all bent. Al and I just put a temporary spreader bar in there when we set the fenders up, but now it's like, is it the right width? Is the front end bent? You see what happened here? It literally just fell apart in my hands. I'm gonna try to take this mess and put it over there without breaking anything else. This grille's a big part of the original Cadillac look, and I'd love to see it incorporated in this car, you know, kind of the Easter egg, the hint at what it was. So I'm going to start by putting this thing together and see what's missing. And they look like they're going together. Because we sectioned it 8 inches, the grille's 8 inches smaller, so it looks like I'm gonna get away with just modifying a couple of these things. There's 3 that are no bueno. There's just something about this car that was always interesting. Growing up as a kid, my mom and my aunt showed me this movie called Harold and Maude, but the star of the show for me was always the car. It was a really nice Jaguar, and the opening scene in the movie is him taking an oxyacetylene torch, lighting it, and heading into the garage with his brand new car. And when it comes out, it's looks a little bit like this, the same flavor. I was like, what, 5 years old? And my mom's like, you gotta watch this. This guy reminds us of you. At the time, it didn't mean anything to me. But now it's all falling into place. One more. Some might say, Ian, don't you ever start with a car that's like in decent shape that hasn't been completely thrashed, thrown by the wayside? The answer is no. Cars that are thrown by the wayside, scorned by society, are always welcome here. It's a repeat performance over and over and over and over. That looks like a grill to me. It's very crooked right now, but I like it. One thing in modifying these grill bars, there was no piece in there for the original hardware to screw into, so there was 2 or 3 that were just floating in space. I realized that there are holes through that grill for whatever reason, and I had a piece of steel rod that fit them perfectly. Please don't break. Kept them in line. Yes! Look at that, nice and strong now. Plug this pup in and see what we're working with. There it is. Boom. Not too bad for 2 grills, some broken parts, a dream. Next step is to remedy this area here where there's nothing going on, but fortunately, we have the original side pods. Really good illustration of how much we section this car, right? The hood used to sit here, but rather substantial. Really cool to have these original hood sides because it's a simple trim and fit scenario. One mini side pod. Looking pretty snazzy. Hood sides, Grille. That's what this thing needed. Now you got a face only a mother could love. I gotta say, there's still some work ahead, but it's really coming together. This thing looks like it's ready to go to the Monster Mash Halloween party of the century. Fab is pretty much there, a couple little decorations, but next up is riving it. I want to see how this thing runs out. Another project in the bag. It started off as this crazy, super loose concept, but here we are out on the street. I gotta say, it's not a good looking car. I think this is the coolest, ugliest car I've ever made. There's something like so appealing and so weird about it, it's hard to put a finger. I'm really excited about the way this thing works. For a 38 Cadillac with a super short wheelbase to behave like a 1987 Lincoln with a 5.0 power plant, pretty rad. This is Dracula's gangster ride, so it's gotta have airbags. Wow. I gotta tell you, it's all fashion in this one. I built some weird stuff, but this ranks pretty high on the weirdo meter. Definitely a kick to drive. I had no concept of what it was gonna be when we started, and this is just what it evolved into. The weirdness of leaving the big roof and turning it into kind of like a shooting brake, I think they're called. It's not a hearse, it's not a station wagon. It really did build itself, so to speak. I chose not to paint this. I did a little spray can effect just to keep the multiple tones sort of in check, but the idea is this is raw. If this was finished, it would be a different car. People might take it seriously. I think the rust and all the old chrome and everything being so antique makes people like, what tomb did this thing crawl out of? We didn't do any metal forming on this at all. It's simple cut and weld. We just took the puzzle apart and reassigned the pieces. The only new piece of steel I used was on the little running board section under the door. The rest of the thing is all Cadillac and 2 pieces of Volkswagen hood for the fender skirts. All this stuff could have gone to the junkyard, you know? All it takes is a ridiculous ambition and a little help from your friends. I really wish Alan was here to take a cruise with me, but all in all, I think he's really become a believer in the scrap pile adventure. I think you gotta be a little daring and a little ready to jump off cliffs to attempt something like this. He embraced it, went right in. I mean, this car would have never developed into what it is without his assistance. Who knows where it could go from here. I got my good buddy Eric out here for another Rancho Russello adventure.
Coming out here, obviously, yes, you get a phone call from Mr. Roussel, you make things happen.
Now, we've done some really wacky stuff in the past. That Space Junkie bubble top, and then the Blue Demon project was just ridiculous. So,
all right.
Eric has been a long time great collaborator. His ideas are always out of the box. He's got a track record to prove it. From the first project we ever worked on, it's always shown something that neither of us expected, and that's why he's here for the mission. Yeah, of course I didn't ask you out here on a vacation. I got you here for a reason.
What? Come on.
And that's why I didn't tell you what we were building. I've never worked on a station wagon before. I've never had one. So
Wait a minute, you've never had a wagon?
Never. Rust-free car, very solid, so it's got a lot of potential. It has some kind of a conservative factor to it, but I want to take all that away.
Yeah, no conservatism.
I want to go like super radical on this. It's going to be full fashion show. Anything you think about, I don't think I'll say no. Like, seriously, I got one.
I'm gonna push that.
I got one idea already that I want to start off with on the nose, but the rest of it is just ideas, man, whatever you're thinking.
No, I'm down for this. Ian, he loves that realm, that area where we don't know what's gonna happen. Normal is boring, and if it doesn't make your hand shake, you're doing something wrong.
I took the liberty of sourcing some parts to address this and the nose, but other than that, I don't have any plans like stuck in stone.
So anything, we can do anything.
You can do anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
You may regret that.
I doubt it. Welcome to the Full Custom Funhouse, where rules, structure, and discipline are all out the window. But look at the apron in the front. Yeah. It has a story. This is definitely not its hood. This is definitely not its fender, so
No.
something happened. You're gonna dig my idea for the nose. Check this out. You might recognize some pieces,
Studebaker!
right?
Oh.
Rust-free, collision-free.
All right. Yeah, that, yes.
Yeah,
okay.
right? Yeah, so it's got the hood, the nose, the fenders, the headlights, and the chromes.
Oh, like a glove.
Right? I haven't even done this yet. I just collected these parts and did some trimming.
I'm into this. All right, that's a good start point, man. What this does is this sets the stage of what we have to do with the rest of the body.
Mm-hmm. Super weird.
The flavor's there.
That's the theory right there.
Yeah.
You might be wondering just where we're headed with this project, and that makes two of us. But I think mocking up this nose gives us a crystal ball view into the future of this grocery getter wagon. So I figure we'll just cut off all that damage in the collision area right through the spare tire and just remock it up.
Start from there, yeah.
Eric and I are on the same frequency. There's no time overspent talking on it. We're right to the task. I think the key points of getting the Studebaker nose to fit on the VW is that the Studebaker is physically a bigger car. It's longer in the wheelbase. The Squareback's very stubby on the nose to the tire. It's got to stay as close to the windshield as possible because otherwise it's going to look like, you know, like a schooner or something coming out of the front. You're going to set up the envisioning. So you got the piece of steel.
High tech as always.
And the pencil.
And the
So
pencil.
Pencil will adjust the angle of the dangle. So you're looking at this on the car, right?
Yep.
So set up the base of that square with this line.
Yeah. Ah, very clever.
And then the bullet mounting is this angle, so it'll be a perfect 90 degrees.
Yeah, we're about on par. It checks out.
Math
It's been
checks
certified.
out.
Yeah, it's been certified. I did this one and I did this one.
Excellent.
At most shops, you use protractors and laser centers and pointers and all this stuff, and there's a process. Not here. It's a carpenter's square, a chunk of wood, and a pencil. And that's it. Yep. Perfect.
I think this is going to offer a really cool transition from the VW look in the front because that was a very sloped down look, and this is very prominent, like the 50s cars. Oh, I love this. From that flat, very bland Type 3 nose to this, whoa,
Yeah.
it's a mutant.
Kind of like we're chiseling this out and finding its place in the universe. It's a discovery for all three of us, including this yellow banana.
That's quite a stellar arrangement. I don't know what kind of all-male review clubs you're performing in, but that's something. How do your coworkers usually feel about that with the flash coming off of that helmet? Wow. I gotta say, that is pretty extra special. Eric is very much at home in embracing the weird. Yeah, as long as these two are good, that's gonna be a simple addition.
Tell me that looks cool. I don't want to look. Tell me it looks cool.
That looks cool.
All right, now I'm jazzed.
Yeah.
Ian's got a really good eye to kind of be able to blend two different genres together. He can bring in pieces and say, I think we can make this work and I think we can make that work. And usually 9 times out of 10 or 9.9 times out of 10, it does work really well.
I think we should utilize this VW body line and cut the Stude fender right above it.
Keep as much of this
Keep
as
as
we can.
much of this, because we're using the VW wheel arch, but this is so Studebaker, we don't want to lose that curve. Is everything okay over there?
Yeah. I'm not sure, but I think this is the one, or it could be this one because there's more, and it could be like that means business, or...
Would you just use the force and get with the program? I want your eyes shut on this next cut. I see the force is strong with you. Yes. So hold it just above the body line. That's it, dude. It's a whole different experience when that helmet's working in the dark.
New dimension.
It's like a discotheque up in here. I gotta brush up my dance moves with this kind of activity in the shop. Look at that, dude. That is really cool.
No, I'm digging this.
It's way narrower than the Studebaker, but it works.
It's funny how the proportions, you can change them like that, and it still keeps its shape. It still keeps its flavor.
This is exactly what I was hoping to see. This car parked in a lineup, you're gonna go, wait, what? Studebaker station wagon? I don't get it. I wanna get that passenger fender on. This is getting me charged up, dude. I wanna hit that roof next.
It's half custom. It will be full custom in a moment.
So getting this nose on, I mean, what a radical change. I love it. The rest of the body now is way bland. Next task on the list is addressing the roof line. I don't really have any specific ideas, but I know I definitely don't want stock.
You need to make the roof as off the wall as possible,
Yeah.
because the rest of it is just...
I think let's just tack weld the door shut and just cut the roof right off. Let's just mess around with some ideas. I mean, it could go anywhere in discussion, but you know, once you put the parts in place, you find
That's
that
when you
sweet
start
spot.
seeing stuff, yeah.
Building up a project like this from only a few parts ideas, I'm just waiting for the statement. I'm waiting for the what is it moment. I'm not attached to this roof, and in a few minutes, the car's not gonna be attached to the roof either.
I'm not attached to anything but my wife.
My first thought is always go as radical as possible and then pull back. Some people may think baby steps. I say eat the whole sandwich. Ugh. It's getting less yellow with every cut. Now it has zero character. It doesn't look like anything.
I didn't think it could get any more plain, but yet here it is. Needs more cowbell.
Definitely needs more cowbell.
Let's spin it around. We have the post on the back. We have the front posts.
Use the hatchback as the...
Yeah, use the hatchback.
Hey, I'm up for anything. I mean, that's what we're here for, discussion, right?
Why not?
I told Eric all ideas were up for consideration, so, I mean, here we go. Look how narrow that is. Doesn't even look bad backwards. Interesting.
Yeah.
I thought you had a horrible idea.
It's completely horrible. The fact that you listen to me is astonishing. Don't do that again.
I'm usually the guy with the wild ideas, and I'm just like, that can't possibly work. But wait, 4 inches where the windshield lands? Because that round windshield was kind of like a falling back effect, and this gives it like a little more
It's got a meanness.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff in the way, but I'm digging this bang right there.
Straight down. The roof is way narrower in the rear than in the front. So it's like, what?
Yeah, now what? But
upon exploration, it's just a megaton of work to make this roof fit properly. By flipping it, we'd have to cut through the center, widen it, etc. I don't think we'd gain much reward, but the forehead on this is starting to have some appeal. I have a Nash Metropolitan roof in the back. Maybe we should look at that.
yeah.
Here lies the remains of my last project with Victor. And as you can see, it's ripe for the picking.
Oh.
And it's, when we're talking flat glass and see the forehead on this?
Yeah.
It's very much like that.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Maybe it'll be a hint in the right direction?
Yeah.
I don't know. First step is to get rid of the dash and all the glass. We're only interested in the roof skin and the pillars. Rubber seals and the desert don't get along very well together.
I see that.
Yeah, they get petrified. I don't mean scared. Oh, wow, it's not that narrow after all.
Maybe too Studebaker.
I like this.
Yeah.
I like this. You know, this is a nice shape. That's just lacking. That's a no bueno.
Every time you put a different roof on it, it looks like a different type of vehicle. She's like, yeah, no, but maybe.
Like what if it was like a truck style with a tonneau cover, like super low?
His mentality is just so like, the sky's the limit. You can do anything. Ooh.
It's nice to get into a project where you don't know what you're building, isn't it?
I love this.
He doesn't know what to say.
I have no idea. So day one, you know, things pretty easy. Put a Studebaker bullet nose on the front end of the sucker. Boom, done. Where's my cupcake? But as we progress into the roof chop, the fear is washing over now at this point because it's like,
We had a great day yesterday, didn't we?
yeah.
Now what do we do?
Ian, of course, as always, is as cool as a cucumber or as lays like broccoli.
There is light at the end of the tunnel. One step at a time. Might be losing my trusty sidekick to the process. I gotta reel him back in. I'm gonna stick that windshield on here. The stock glass, just as the Roadster look. This is where we really need to keep inventory of all the things we've tried. So far, we've changed the front of the Roofline, and we like how it complemented the Studebaker nose.
It kind of looks like a beach buggy now that you can rent.
Banana Buggy beach rentals.
Hey.
I always say all my projects have a story, whether it's the supervillain driving the hot rod or the alien driving a spaceship. Somehow this beach buggy rental story just began. Banana Hammock Beach Buggy Rentals. Come join us.
You're welcome for your $1 million idea.
Just looking at the car, I'm thinking, you know, what if we used the stock glass and just like leaned it back, raked it? That's kind of radical. It's just a big window, but laid way back. You're all shook up now, aren't you, baby?
Yeah, I'm twisted.
There's just a whole thing about not doing weird for weird's sake. It's easy to go over the line where people take it as comical, right? Because you could be like, ew, that's weird. But if you make it intriguing, all of a sudden, that's weird. Looks pretty aggressive.
It's not looking like a Squareback anymore.
No. I did a couple chops where I used the stock glass but sunk it in. And this is different with the slant back, with the changing of the angle of it. It's appealing for some reason. I was thinking, of course, oh, the most radical chop ever, right? And it's just like, man, it just looked weird. I didn't want to get way out of proportion between the side panels and then the roof height. Something about this dimension works.
Ian's envisioning process, it's in his head. The best you can do is just try to lasso whatever comes out of his mouth as he's looking at something. You just have to kind of watch how it goes down.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling it.
Welder up, sire.
With the chop on the car now, you stand back and look. I'm kind of digging how this thing's progressing. The thing's starting to now kind of tell us what it wants.
Never said it was gonna be easy, but we are one step closer to driving our big yellow banana. As for now, the chop works. I like it. The proportions there, only slight tuning to get it into gear. I'm digging the open feel of this pillarless roof. There's just something about having the breeze through open air design. It wasn't something I planned. Happy accident scenario. No B-pillars, I'm going for it. Presentation of the D-pillar at this point is gonna mean everything. You know, the roof, of course, is lower, but it's also more forward. Got the old mismatch issue. The roof is...
I mean, it's just a tiny, tiny mismatch, just a little.
I really wanna see the engine.
I can get down on that, yeah, absolutely.
And I wanna change the taillights. Right now, my concept is just like a hot rod. You'll see the engine up front exposed. Right now, that's the way I'm feeling about the back end.
Jewelry box, basically.
100%. So see, the engine's here, right? So imagine the roof only being to the engine.
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, because ultimately it doesn't need to be that long.
It could be something like, see, anything could happen, right?
Okay. I'm glad
But
I
then
got up this morning.
But to make it even weirder, So, okay, we're gonna have these fenders sticking out the back, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, everybody's gonna know, Type 3 taillights, right? So check this out.
Oh, there's more.
Look at that. What year, 53?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
You got the peak here,
Yeah.
and you got the peak here. And that's exactly what I saw on the Cadillac.
Okay. Yeah, drop down in position and everything. That'll look really good.
Settle those in,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
decide on the roof.
Now we have the wild in the back as well, which works out well. So I think we're balancing it properly. Let's get started.
I like the way you think.
A lot of Ian's projects, there's cool and weird mixed into one. He has developed an eye to somehow blend the two together, and I love watching to see what he does, because he can blend cool and weird together like nobody else. Are the envisioning goggles working?
The number one thing I saw about the Caddy taillights was they were on their own perch. So similar to the Studebaker fenders being their own projectiles in the front, the Cadillac taillights came up and do the same. Yeah, that's weird. And these vents, we're just gonna cover them later. It's not gonna have the Type 3 cooling anymore.
Yeah, I feel as though this is a step in the right direction here.
He likes it.
I like it.
So this is the big debate, like what happens now with the roof? How short does it get? We don't want it to look like a pickup truck, and we don't want it to look like the notchback sedan.
Yeah.
Thoughts, Captain? I saved the bottom of the pillar, a little turnaround.
Ah, I like that.
Okay, so if that goes down to 0,
Oh,
right
yeah.
about there,
Perfect, smart idea.
then, so that would kind of go like that. Shall we go to the envisioning tape?
I think so, yes. Let's see what that brings us.
Because we're not really running any side windows whatsoever, the A and D pillar are primary. Maybe that pillar's more vertical? Oh, no.
No. May I?
Yeah.
Dumb idea. There's no dumb ideas, but there could be a dumb idea.
Ooh, Studebaker? What Rambler wagon does that? Rambler does that. Wait, look, what if I grab the passenger side? It already done does that. Talk about freak show. So we get that desired effect of the engine exposed, but now the rear window is like a trucker hat over the engine. Like the bill of the hat is coming out over it.
Business in front, party out back.
You never know what you end up with in a project. You know, I had in my mind an idea about a shortened roof, exposing the engine, and this idea just might be the ticket. This would pretty much be like that.
Well, not that bad. Here, let me hold it. You take a look.
So weird. The Studebaker has this huge depth. The Squareback is a box. Now we're achieving fins out and a huge depth.
Yeah. It doesn't look super great, but I think it's a better approach than the other way, which would be where the normals would take it to, I think.
And I excel at making things that aren't really good looking. I love my job. Right off the bat, Eric says backwards pillar. I'm like, oh yeah, like some other cars I've seen in the past that were oddballs. Count me in. This is what's gonna sell it. This transition and that transition being this is what's gonna sell that whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the hatch. We got the corners right there. There they are.
Sweet beans!
All great ideas, right? Anything can happen, but it's gotta look convincing. I always say that. And reversed angle on the pillar, heck yeah, if we could pull it off. Structurally, it's not that huge of a challenge, but aesthetically, visually, it's already like a bold choice, and it can't, again, look weird. It's gotta look, wow, that's weird. It's easy to come up with an idea, but to follow through, who dug it? You're in for a ride sometime. The whole thing is utilizing Eric's time to the maximum. Correctamundo. It's a rough concept. Just get the ideas down, and I'll fix it up. Voila.
Yeah, I think we can get away with that.
For sure. Starting to shape up, and the back end is presenting these two tall pillar-like quarter panels independent of the body, and Taillights are just the little toppers on them. Feels like the front of the Studebaker nose. How you feeling? You look a little woozy.
I don't know yet.
Yeah, standing back on just the open back. I mean, it looks like some kind of a utility vehicle. Like, yeah, I could see this at the beach. It's a 4-seater, you throw your gear through the side. The back is just wide open.
Yeah, it's giving it purpose now. It's like Lion Country Safari. You could just sit in there and feed the giraffes. And
That was the whole lead up with this open back. The engine's popping up through the floor and we're gonna see it. Whatever we gotta do, no rules.
all right, cool.
We were trying to get weird and boy, did we succeed. I gotta say, that pillar issue is something I didn't see coming, but here we are. You know, the front's so radical, the back's getting crazy. Let's just cut this off and make something different.
Yeah, all right, that'll work.
By pushing this back, it'll make these fins appear bigger.
Groovy. I'm into that.
I really don't want it to look like a stock squareback rear with the Cadillac taillights. I want to radically redesign the center of it as well. I love the idea right now of the exposed engine, this sunken area, exposing all the mechanicals. I just want to work with that. So this engine's just a mock-up. It's a core. The fresh engine is at the rebuilder right now, so you're really getting warmed up on these VWs now that you're hanging out with me, man. And of course, I got a few tasty treats to spice things up. It's a pretty cool fan shroud. I got this set of carbs. But see, now look, it's kind of stacking up in there, right? I want to show as much of this as possible, so I'm thinking maybe this deck comes out completely.
Nice plan. I like that.
See, like reverse like that. Give it a little curvature. I just had a really weird idea.
I'm in.
I love what you're doing with that pan. So it's a sheet metal here, right? But I was like, man, it's gonna be so bland, right? But no, it's actually the exhaust cove. So that's just the pan, and the exhaust is some kind of really showy thing right here.
Right. Yeah, I like that idea a lot.
I gotta look in my parts stash. I think I might have some interesting tips. See, there's a thing, I just can't throw them away. Ooh.
There's more?
Everybody has their little secrets.
Really? There's got to be some kind of support group for this sort of thing. I mean, the exhaust selection was a buffet. And I mean like the buffet you bring a bib in your own silverware.
I mean, you can't be too ready for an exhaust swap.
No,
That's
no,
all
no.
I'm saying.
I mean, how do I put this? His exhaust fetish is actually a really good collection. He's got a lot of really neat shapes, different styles. He's got Monza pipes, he's got stuff in stainless, he's got all sorts of little trumpet guys. So it really works out.
This is the first thing I thought of because they'll polish out.
I do like that. I do like these little bendy guys.
Before we get into exhaust ideas, we need to get some sheet metal in place to see what we're really working with. The rear end design is still a blank slate, but now you can see how the fenders tie in, how the roof proportion fits with the engine in place, etc. I mean, as a concept,
I'm liking this.
I'm feeling it. I mean, it's a total freak show. That's exactly what I was asking for.
The fit and finish of it, I can't wait to see how this thing progresses and evolves.
But it's got my mind going. Now you can see, right? All the pieces are in place. Now it's connect the dots and refine it.
Yeah.
And you really busted it out, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Let me come out and play in the toy box. You know, lately I've been doing a lot of like intense work on other people's stuff. So this was a nice change of pace, and I hate to say it, but I like this thing now. It's so kooky, it's just cool.
Eric, as usual, brought in a lot of fun, a lot of super creative ideas. I mean, we got the layout of a really weird project, and I'm just stoked to get on with this.
I don't think you'll mind accepting
Wow.
Ginger. My gift to you.
The ultimate disco helmet. Heck yeah, man, I appreciate it.
Give it a good home.
Righteous. Now I'm completely prepared. I mean, next time I go to the club, my fashion is gonna be on point. And I could just get some work done if need be as well. Eric and I got a lot done in a short period of time, and I let the dust settle and stood back and took a look. We both agreed that this needed some improvement. This curve and the rake of the chop, it just looked a little too open to me. I feel like it should be even, or maybe just a little low in the back. At this point in the build, a few subtle changes, dare I use the word subtle, can change the whole thing, the whole feeling of it. This was out here, right? Look, it's like tight and loose. And now, whoosh, it's a little more delicato. A lot of times in building cars, I get caught up in all the inspiration and tend to not focus on some of the potential roadblocks. This just happens to be one of those situations. I was thinking about these taillights. I kept mocking up that other one and realized it's from a different year. These fins, I think, are earlier. Look at that. I didn't realize, but hey. So I'm gonna try to remove the reverse light and maintain this chrome and the little cool reflector that one was lacking. Given a choice between practicality and inspiration, I will choose inspiration 100% of the time. I still love that reflector. We're gonna have to do something to maintain that. The whole key here, especially with Eric's collaboration, is to find that inspiration, because the motivation flows from that. When you got a mission, everything else just follows. Now our issue is this. Got this big hunk of plastic that don't fit. Ain't nothing in life that's free. Just gonna take some doing. This is just how the cookie crumbles in a land of full custom. You need to adapt and overcome. Most people would just get taillights that fit. Nope, just cut the car just right. Now the bottom part, I'm gonna fit out with a piece of this flat bar. That'll give it a good landing spot. Last piece to the puzzle is the little jewel. I like that. You know, it definitely looks like a real car part and not just kind of an add-on. In the end, this difficulty with the lens fit up worked to my advantage. I feel like the smaller lens added to the design of a thinner rear fender, and that's good for a smaller car. That's the story of car building, you know, you get one side that looks good, but then there's inside and then the outside of the other side. It's all gotta be symmetrical. Then the big question of what's gonna happen in the engine bay. Our beach buggy rental is one step closer to being open for business. I still got a few tricks up my sleeves before we hit prime time. Been working on this sheet metal and I got it pretty much dialed in. Both right and left taillight are mocked up, and then the structure put back in the roof. Got that look I was going for. Sort of like the front fenders are jutting. I want the rear fenders to do the same. Just like with the nose of the car, you see the center being its own thing with these two structures on each side, and I want to follow suit with the rear end, however that works out. It's a pretty ridiculous change. Right up my alley. Yeah, the engine, I want it to be a focal point, but it's just something about this just cavernous surround. I'm not sure. I'm gonna start at the bottom here. I know I want exhaust poking through that roll pan, and I thought at first I was gonna use this. But when I mocked it up, I saw that all the gear was outside the car pretty much. The big spaghetti bundle in the back, right? I also had this other two-tip dealie. It's kind of classic. It's kind of not complicated. It's kind of sandy. Exhaust makes a huge statement in every car, so I'm trying not to overdo it. As radical change as the body is, it's a pretty, like, mellow style. Pretty simple, pretty discreet. Maybe seeing, you know, like a large tube that comes around and just frames it. All right, so this is first thoughts. I'm using this really large radius. On the car, you're only gonna see from here to here. So the tube doesn't actually exist. You're just seeing this nice curve. All right, and I found these really tight little bends. They're from a handrail. Wide open, baby. Anything could happen. Always looking for parts, right? I did a bunch of hole sawing on some steel plates, so I saved those. I modified some seats, so I saved those tabs. I'm at this guy's house, and he's like, hey, do you need some bends? Always looking for that shape that might be the fix. Believe it or not, I'm not the only one. I've been given some pretty weird creations over the years. It's a real cannon. It shoots golf balls. It's made out of a leaf spring, a piece of tube, and it shoots golf balls. You put the fuse in here. Maybe we need to like mount this on the back of the car. It could be endless hours of enjoyment for the dogs fetching balls. I wouldn't even have to leave the driver's seat. I digress. So I'm just gonna tack this on so I can put some sheet metal and start to secure it. The whole thing here is just to maximize the dramatic proportions I can gain from the position of the fenders and the engines. Trying to just like create the look of the tailpipes, depth in the body, make it more exotic. I don't think any bumpers on this car. The front has so much character, it would take away from it. And now the back is getting that same kind of flow where the center is projecting a little bit. Love the shapes, lots of dimension. But there's just something about this back end that just needs a little extra. Originally, Eric and I were talking about having it wide open so you could see the engine, but something about these two side areas, it just looks like, I don't know, I want to do something with the back. I was just thinking about the back end of cars, right? And I'm like, wait, we hacked apart this Metropolitan and I used pieces of it on this other project, but the whole trunk and rear portion of the center of the car, exactly what I need for this, is laying in the back of the shop. This was the area where the spare tire hung, so I had cut that out. But I was like, look, there's the window where you can look into the engine. And should you need to get in and mess with something on top, you got a lid to get in there too. Look at that. Talk about serendipity. I got two words, surf and safari. All it's gonna take is a little bit of everything. It's the old corkscrew twist trick. It worked. I always get that quirky little smirk when something's starting to get really weird. It's almost at that moment. I'm gonna cut this out of steel and then use a shrinker to just make a nice transition around that corner. But it's got these little teeth that munch. See that? With metalwork, there is munching, crunching and bunching. All advanced technique as far as I'm concerned. There's two things you can do with metal. You can shrink it or you can stretch it. This process does both. Munched and bopped to perfection. Very interesting. There's something about this surface coming over the engine. Initially I was saying exposed engine, but putting this in place, it's like the double decker adds something to the car. It gives it like a more enclosed feeling. But I definitely want to see engine through that. What's gonna really set that look in place? We're really onto something with this rear end design, but I think it just needs something more to call it complete. Before we get any further along, I want to spend a little time on the bodywork and see how it's feeling. There's nothing like a little elbow grease to get things headed in the right direction. I like to really get the heavy aspects of the filler in place. That way you're not looking at all these welded seams. You've got the inside gap of the hood opening all detailed in, and the VW body line into the Studebaker is coming along pretty good too. A little hammer and dolly work and some filler. Never knew what went on back there. The missing link is this hole I cut in the back of the body. It had kind of like a Continental kit. So this, sat in the car like that with a vertical spare tire. I don't need a spare tire on the back, but the look of the Continental kit was pretty cool. It's this point in the process where the whole view really comes into play. Of course, the wheel and tire combo mean everything. So this is what I'm using for all four rims. Real simple setup. I got the smoothie steel wheels with the moon cap with no VW logo and just the trim ring like that. So it got me thinking about the Continental kit. This back here, sort of looking like a Continental kit, but it pops off so you can access the carburetor, distributor, generator, etc. I mean, that sounds great in theory, but like, okay, well, here I am dangling 2 items in space. How it actually happens is where the story begins. I got this rim over here, Chevy. Trim ring fits it perfect. I don't want the rim though. I don't want this blocking the airflow. I just want it wide open. So I'm thinking about making a couple tabs that will bolt in or screw in under the trim ring, mimicking the look of the original Studebaker. It's got kind of the cross with the chrome dome in the center, right? So what if I made 4 little wire supports that screwed onto that ring in that pattern, paint them black. This thing kind of appears to be floating, but still front and back the same. Enough theorizing. I mean, let's see you make it happen already. Your hands aren't even dirty. You can drill and screw right into that. The old X marks the spot trick. Now I'm just gonna tack weld this hubcap right to it. That gives us the potential for our floating hubcap. Now we remove the rim. The whole concept with this is that I feel like it should look like magic, right? It's just a floating disc in the center of this hole. There's always a tell to every magic trick. This is how I'm gonna do it. Yes. That's just dumb enough to call my own. I love it. Feels like the right vibe. It's like, this isn't wild engine exposed hot rod. It's kind of like wacky taxi. It's a little shade canopy of a roof, and it's got to be something that's just like, whoa, did you see that car? Yeah, all the weirdos drive them. Or at least one weirdo drives it. All right, now for the arts and crafts hour. I like that. Let's make 2 of these and adapt. I'm just gonna get this bottom part set, and I'm just gonna cut it into place as I go. Pretty straight ahead. Once I got that hard curve established, I just came in and squeezed it and buttoned it right up. A little welding, a little grinding, plug them back in place. The old floating hubcap trick. Moving right along, it's getting weirder as it goes. This thing has got the revered double cool factor. This design not only looks cool, but it keeps the engine cool as well. Just like so many of my other projects, this thing's like a Hot Wheels. It's a big toy car, you know what I'm saying? It's just exactly that. It's like, whoa, what the heck is going on here? Next up is the paintwork. I got some ideas, and that really does bring it all together. Bombay Beach, here we come. I got this beach buggy all wrapped up and set for its maiden voyage. Super stoked with the way it came out. You know, the mashup with the Studebaker and the VW, it's convincing. And even out here, you know, it's a VW, it's light. It cruises right across the sand, no problem. All right, this thing's a runner. I mean, not the beach, but in my imagination, I'm already there. It's pure paradise. Life is what you make it. You live the dream, you become the dream. Like, it's really all how you perceive things. I mean, anything's possible. There used to be water here. It's just low tide. Comes in once a year. This is pretty much where it's at for me. I mean, that's why we built the car. Beach theme. Like we said, Erie Eric's Beach Buggy Rentals. Cruised on down to the surf spot. You got the sand, you got the sun. That's 2 of the 3. I mean, all we need is some tasty waves. Southern California surfboards. Goes together like me and Volkswagens. In all seriousness, you know, there was a ton of bodywork to finish out on this. My friend Jamie helped me block sand and bodywork the whole car. I love the vintage flats paint. Not a lot of flair. I just got 2 gallons of white and I mixed in green toner to come up with that seafoam, classic kind of beachside color. One of the iconic wagons in the world is the Chevy Nomad, so I used a similar flow where the paint checks off of the pillar and comes forward in a spear. Not a perfect representation of that, but you definitely get the inspiration. From the onset, the only thing I saw was the bullet nose and the Cadillac fins. Everything else was the collab between Eric and I. That's what you end up with. I mean, it really was just throw down, showdown, and here we are, painted. But somehow, it works. That's one reason I love collaborating with Eric so much, is because he's a pro, he knows how to do things. He also likes to get weird, you know? And that's what we really did in this. It was just like, hey man, let's get down and try something crazy. That back end was a monster. Inside curves are one of the hardest things to bodywork, and I'm gonna blame that all on Eric. He got the glory, I got the lack of fingerprints. Sort of retro, sort of atomic age, definitely cartoon. It's got a jet engine symbolized, it's got fins, it's got a bullet nose like a rocket. I dubbed the Starlux. That's the most satisfying thing in the end, is to see it actually function. So instead of just being a mock-up and then it goes away, no, it's like, it's turnkey. It works. Can it be detailed? For sure. But that satisfaction of just seeing the silhouette, seeing finished paint and driving, that's good for me. The journey of this car is still unknown. Interior, hot rod engine, anything could happen. End result of this isn't something that's just like out of control, crazy cartoon like I do so many times, but it's just kind of like a cool weirdo cruiser. I think this is weird with a smile. Out here at my friend Bill's place, he said, hey, come by. Guess what? I got another truck. You know Bill, he's a truck guy. He just can't quit the habit. Here he goes again. Bill and I have done a ton of projects together. I could see a cycle, like he's improving with every one. Each project comes from a better starting point. He usually manages to get his hands on some interesting stuff, and this truck's no different. Wow. It's even got that old truck smell. That's a unique rust pattern. Usually it's down in here. Usually you see all this gone. It says 61,000 miles on it. I might just believe that. Look at that, never hit, never painted, never known nothing. In a quest to live my life by the true metaphors of the universe, I will not judge a book by its cover, but I will give it a thorough once-over and then cast my judgment. This is like, yeah, barn find potential. Yeah, and in the rear, it's more of the same, just good, wholesome truck. In this day and age, to walk up on a vehicle that is in the unmolested, unchanged status, it's pretty unique. Hello, sir.
Mr. Russell, my favorite fabricator.
Wait, you mean there's others?
No, I just have you. That's all I need.
Okay, cool. This is quite a charmer, huh?
Well-
Talk about a barn find.
One family owned
Huh.
since '62.
Wow.
A friend of mine found it, and I went to look at it and just had to have it.
Yeah, I could see why. I mean, it's in great shape.
They started messing with the top and didn't prime it, didn't do anything, and of course,
So they actually did cut that open.
I guess.
Okay, because I was like, this doesn't add up. It doesn't look like your typical rust. Seeing the rust damage on this, it's really impossible to know what's going on under the surface. The openings in this one are curious to me. Anybody that knows rust knows that this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Everything seems to work. 3-speed with an overdrive.
Nice.
Most people looked at the roof and said, boy, that's bad. I looked at the roof and said, where's Ian?
You know a guy with a welder, don't you?
Yeah.
Remember that old commercial, Mikey Likes It? Well, this is sort of like that, but it's Ian Can Fix It. It's never a dull day. There is something to be said, like the time machine scenario, right? Because
Yeah.
it's a real deal 62 Ford.
Yeah. I don't know, it just stole my heart when I saw it. I liked everything about it, and so here we are.
Yeah, in stock form, these trucks are great. I had a 64. It was a Mercury. It was from Canada.
Oh,
It was the unibody style, but I mean, had the V8, had all the stock stuff, and it just drove great. I'm feeling the Survivor vibes on this thing, definitely. I mean, there's something to be said for like retaining the actual, showroom feel, just rolling down the road in a bit of a time capsule. Plus, I know Bill, and sometimes, in fact, most times, it's better to ease him into custom action.
interesting, they call this a custom cab.
It's a full custom kit.
Now, I don't know what that means.
When we're done with it, it's going to be a custom cab.
Yeah, it needs a little Racel. I like the drip rail. If you could keep that, I'd really.
Yeah, I mean, I got some ideas already about that roof skin, but the primary factor is to get in there and stop that rust on the interior panels, because that's starting to get pretty chunky.
I'm always excited when you come to work on my projects. I never know exactly where you're going.
That makes two of us. One of my favorite things about visiting with Bill is he's always got a rotating stock, and it would not be a trip to Bill's without a quick tour around the neighborhood. What's going on with that?
Well, the panel trucks, 46 Chevrolets, both of them,
Wow.
real projects.
Huh.
I mean,
Need everything.
everything.
Okay.
There's a lot of potential there.
No doubt. It
That's
just,
for
as
sure.
you say, it's literally strapped together.
Yeah.
Fine piece of machinery. There's something about being a car guy where when the opportunity presents itself, how could you say no?
That's a 1930 Pontiac. It's all there. It's got wooden spoke wheels.
Oh, cool. It's a hot rod. This kind of like doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Potential for the museum parade car.
Yeah.
And what the heck is this thing? Now you're talking my language.
One of the guys that works here part-time, Danny, is building that.
Even got a motor on it. I mean, nothing says outlaw like a motorcycle with no license plates. Let's run it. I got one word, man. Chingon. Yeah, I mean, these are definite long-term potential, but let's stick to the order at hand.
I agree.
I'll get some ideas together on that unit down there, and we'll just keep thinking about these.
I like it.
Yeah. There's a few different ways about going forward on this particular project. Looking back through my mental Rolodex, I remember a friend of mine has something that just might work.
It's a 62 F100 four-wheel drive. It originally belonged to a good friend of mine that I was a sailor with. And we used to drive this thing out in the desert, boondocking, yank the engine out, and I've pretty much been sitting on it ever since.
Every truck's got a story, man. I love the bumper. I love the roll bar. Super cool. That's what we're looking for, 100%. Look at that, even comes with extra windshield wiper. We're in business.
I guess I should have done some pruning, huh?
Door hinges, the door jambs are all perfect. Look at that. And that's the driver's door. Usually they get beat up and worn out.
It's been doing more sitting for the last 40 years than operating.
Every parts search, I'm always looking for something fairly specific. And this truck doesn't have a lot to offer. It's fairly bare bones, but it's got just what we need. Yeah, we got a lot of rust in our truck up in here and some of the inner panels. This thing, I don't even think it ever got rained on, huh?
No rust out in the desert. I'm glad I'm a desert rat.
If you're not that attached to it, we could do a little horse trading and
It's gonna have a new lease on life.
at least parts of it will. The one thing about dumpster diving is it's not as easy as picking something off the shelf. It looks like this rig is missing a critical element. It's got no rear axle. Well, I got my trailer.
Maybe we could lift it up and just drive the trailer, right under it.
It's always a new page opening, a new story unfolding. Things get kind of crazy in the Wild West. You're gonna have to pull them tires. Got this thing loaded up, heading back down the hill to Mr. Bill's. All right, twin trucks. Love these mirrors. The roof skin is pristine. That's the big deal on this. I didn't realize this is a long bed. That's a short bed. Look at that, I could almost grab this one. Good thing we don't need the bed. Comparing these two side by side, it looks like this one has all the parts for the old cut and paste trick. I really do understand Bill's wish to keep this in like survivor mode. So I'm gonna try to do as minimal cutting into the body as possible. Maybe we'll be able to swap a little parts. Make one better truck out of two. Let's see what happens. I want to get right into it. Cut into old orange, roll the dice, see what the future holds for us. Fortunately, there's enough trust floating around that allows me to proceed as I desire. Yeah, the first step is just like an exploratory cut. I'm gonna try to just make it look like nothing happened. I just want to see how bad the rust is inside. It's like sands through the hourglass. No cancer in here, it's just surface rust. So I'm assuming what happened was the moisture just got inside, started rotting it from the inside out, but none of the structures is rotten. That's the good news. What's the bad news? I don't know yet. Let's get a wire brush and see what's happening. I was really concerned about how the drip rail rotted away, but see, that inner part, there's no cancer there. With custom vehicles, that's a big point of contention, to use or not the drip rails. This one's gonna look stock, it's gotta have them. It looks like the orange truck's drip rail is out of commission, but fortunately the donor vehicle has everything perfectly intact. California dreaming right there. That doesn't happen on the East Coast. That's good to weld to, and this is much less rusty than I thought. See, Ian, regardless of what you say, even you get lucky sometimes. One of my thoughts was that if it's rotten in here, then it gives me every excuse to chop the top, right? Because, hey, you're gonna cut the pillar anyway. But I think Bill, in his conservative mindset, is going to appreciate this, just like nothing ever happened. Once you get into the 60s model years with the curved glass and it's got different body lines, I feel like they're a bit less in need of a chop top. The earlier ones, they kind of had the baseball cap look, right? Kind of a flat front-ish with a big tall center, and the 60s kind of smoothed it all out. Well, this is one of those unique opportunities when you get to paint stuff that's inside the vehicle, because we got the cap off. So I have this rust converter. This product's called Pour 15. It claims to convert rust into something that won't rust anymore. That's been successful for me. But you can see all this business inside is in darn good shape. While that's drying, let's get started on the slice and dice on this parts truck. I think I'm gonna salvage this windshield first. See if Mr. Bill's got a cutting tool around here. Unlike old orange, this window's in great shape. Hoping to get a 1-2 combo out of this. A windshield, a roof skin, plus a side of fries coming right up. Yeah, this window's definitely been replaced sometime. Doesn't have the chrome like the other one. So it's aftermarket rubber strip. Give it up, give it up. Yeah, once you get these rubber seals up to about 300 degrees Fahrenheit in the desert's done, they start to stick pretty good. There it is. I know what you're thinking. Wow, Ian, you didn't break the glass. Well, I can be delicate too, you know. So on this one, I'm just gonna take the entire roof cap right off and then start to hog out from the inside, the exact reverse of what I did on the other truck. I think I just found an excuse to make that roadster pickup truck I've always wanted. That back window doesn't look like it's the same flow. Old habits die hard. What can I say? One farm fresh roof skin. Let's get that truck out of here. Let's take out this ancient artifact. Yeah, look at that, rust free. That is the desert, ladies and gentlemen. I want to leave the drip rail, but remove the structure. So I think I'm gonna take the disc and put it in this way now. Now that the skin's on the table, I can trim away everything I need using my patented surgical precision. So now you have all the structure of the truck intact with this front windshield surround preserved on the other vehicle. As long as those folks at Ford used the same tools to make these two roofs, we're gonna find out. I did all the prepping I could in 2 stations. It's time to put it together and see if it fits. A hot dog. If that don't fit like a Ford roof skin should. The two-tone is pretty cool. I wasn't expecting that, but it brings out the bumper. The white and white. Looks like a creamsicle. There's just so much to be said for the factory stamped sheet metal. It fits identical, it fits perfect. And the patina, the color of the paint, actually works great as well. See how this roof has a little clip on it? And then there's still one remaining on the truck. So that's your front alignment right there. Both of these vehicles were prepped out more conservative than the final fit up. So now that the pieces are kind of stacked, just the last bit of trim and nip to make it happen. The process at this point is welding it together and just trying not to burn too much paint off. It's gonna get hot on top for sure, but you know, you're only gonna see the seams around the backside. The front welding is buried in the rain gutter with the sealer that'll go in there. I'm feeling good about this swap. You know, I still got a few tricks up my sleeve to make Old Orange come full circle. Got the roof skin buttoned up right on time. Here comes Mr. Bill on his trusty green steed.
Master Russell, how is my orangey red truck?
It's a little more like your white hat at the moment. Check out the new cap on this sucker.
Oh my gosh, you put a whole new roof on it.
Correct. And look at the drip rails. I changed those too.
Perfect. Yeah.
I didn't think you wanted to repaint the whole truck, right?
No.
Just give it a
No,
detail, yeah. Do a little touch up around where they welded, and
Yep.
it looks like it was always that way.
That is terrific. White top, I never even thought of that. You made a real truck out of this. That is just great.
It's good to see Bill excited on the progress. This kind of change is right in line with what he likes. You know, I did major surgery, but it looks like not much went on.
When I saw the donor truck parked in my driveway, I thought, wonder what Ian's got in mind.
Plots thickening. So the good news about that truck is it's got a lot of pieces. I noticed your parking brake was broken. It's got all the interior mechanisms for the doors. It's got a brand new windshield in it. So you got a few good things out of that.
Oh, that's awesome. We'll pick it apart like a chicken.
One thing that was bugging me is the fact that there's no rear bumper, you know? It's like, well, it's got a front, but there's no rear. You know, if it had a trailer hitch or something, it would add up, but it's just blank sheet metal. But I was thinking something a little more classy, a little more style to it, you know? I'm rooting through my own part stash, and I think I might just have one thing to solve this dilemma. It's a pretty generic looking shape, but it's got that interesting rise.
It still has the same arch as that. It's just enough to be a bumper.
I'm not sure what this came off of. I almost feel like it was on a car sitting like that.
Yep. So what are you gonna, just bolt it on and then look at it from this side?
You think I got a plan? Come on.
Have at it.
I really do like the back of the sheet metal on this truck. You put the bumper in at the height of the lower portion of the quarter panel and it just flows right out. With a utility vehicle like a truck, a pickup truck, the bumpers are literally just that. They're for bumping into things, not much style put into it. So trying to make this look a little bit better, the body lines of the truck have so much to offer, I want to minimize the bumper impact. I'll use this line in the truck as a reference and set that side into position and see how far away this line got from that line. And that's how much we'll narrow it. You can see how high-tech this is. I mean, no expense spared in the rigging and jigging in this operation. So we got these brackets in here, and I don't want to mess with that because that's our welding on potential. We're going to narrow it in this vacant area through here. Mini bumper. Got this really high-tech straight edge out of Bill's toolbox. Fortunately, this bumper is the same dimension all the way through, but it's important to get it straight when you're aligning it for welding. such a clean looking design to bunch it up with welds or any other modifications would take away from it. So it's gotta be a seamless mod. This is pretty cool. These bumpers mounted flat up on the panel, and they're gonna do the same on this truck. Can't argue with that. Now it's like, oh yeah, look at the truck body, and then the bumper, just a little accessory. Simple, hang that license plate just down a little bit. I think that's the most that this bumper has to offer, is that it kind of smooths the line between those cheeky quarter panels under the taillights and just a bland flat cross panel on each side of the license plate. It shows you the old nip and tuck. Sometimes it's the answer. Paint that white, call her done. This thing is definitely making progress. It just leads to think, what's next? I'm gonna think about that for a minute. We're out here in Pomona, Fairplex at the first annual Grand National Truck Show. Anything goes, kind of like an open invite. As long as it's a truck, come on down. When my friend first told me about this show, he's like, you gotta be there, man. It's the first time all truck invitational. I was like, truck, yeah, let's go. But the big question is the El Camino a car or a truck? It's still yet undecided. I say this all the time, we are so spoiled in Southern California. I mean, this show starts at the gate, in the parking lot, walking in, all the way through. This thing is unique. I love this bed cover. Who knows what year that's from, 40s, probably. It's steel, super cool. Yeah, the whole thing with coming out here is just to see like what's going on. If I could bring something to the table that would get Bill excited, that's what I'm all about. This guy's one of my favorite fabricators going, Slim. He builds some crazy stuff. And this van is like a wheelie popping machine, as evidenced by the giant engine in the back. The Highway Patrol loves to see this stuff on the street, so I'm sure that's why he did it, just to support the local law enforcement. Vans, trucks, you name it. Look at this yellow beast. Look at that face. Wow. 1950. There's something to be said for a vehicle that's as tall or taller than me when it's laid right on the ground. This thing. There's something about the cab overs, you know? It's the ugly duckling turning into a swan scenario, truly. These things are just big utility things, kind of ugly, kind of weird, but lowered down and customized, they are something.
Is this your truck?
I wish.
Oh.
I love it. Obviously, this thing's full custom, but the body started off as a 40 Ford cab over. Everything's modified. Super nice. I love how they pulled the rear axle so far back.
I know you get this all the time, but I just want to shake your hand.
Oh man, good to see you. This is yours? Super nice. Super nice.
You're a legend.
Thanks, man. Love the rims too. Look at that. That's a big one. Take your big surfboards to the beach on that one. Trucks like this just really do prove that the survivors, you know, there's a strong love for trucks in general, but when you see one that's pretty much intact and original, it's just like, that's worth showing. Never been painted, never been wrecked. It can't be stressed enough, there's something about the real deal, and that's what a survivor represents. Look at this 1980s fantasy machine. Look at how many shocks this has. I can't even count that high. It's got shock absorbers for the shock absorbers. Hot pink boots. Come on. This is the heartbeat of America right here. Look, it's got a cell phone and a television. This is modern. And this truck has it all. Suspension's crazy modified. It's body dropped. Can't really get much lower than that. I probably couldn't even fit in there. At a show with this wide of a range, there's no way to pick a favorite. I mean, it changes minute by minute, actually. Everybody's got their own vibe, right? So it's like, well, who would take a really cool Blazer style vehicle like that and put so much effort and love, and meanwhile somebody else is like, I want my truck as low as possible. I'm gonna mold the bed so it's barely even a truck anymore. I mean, huge amount of work to make this thing. Huge C-notch in the back, bunch of old barnwood. It's rad. This thing's serious business. It's barely even a truck anymore. This thing's a race car. This is cool. This reminds me a lot of the truck I did for Bill, where it's just like, truck this early never existed as a sliding ramp truck, you know? It's just like, wait, something's wrong. To me, it's all artwork. It's 100% a feeling. Wow, look at this. I love it. It's just like, I like that. It says 1925 Ford Model T. Zipped T. Super, super neat. Just the proportions are total cartoon. It's great. So that's just the parking lot outside. The actual show is in here. The theme here is sort of like the Amber Award, the America's Most Beautiful Roadster. This is the world's most beautiful truck. So all the trucks in this area, they're up for the big award, and you could see, I mean, it's no holds barred. Seemingly no expense spared. These guys, or gals, or whoever, have got some serious dedication. This is my gig, right? This is my living. I know what it takes to bring vehicles to this level of finish. And it's not one, there's hundreds, possibly thousands, all lined up, all primo. It makes me wonder why I'm sitting here talking instead of some of these other cats. Oh yeah, now we're talking. Look at the color on this. Wow, Diamond T. Man, this thing's a huge amount of work. Just crazy cool. This is pretty close to the truck Bill has. This is the unibody, but very similar. You see the shape of the roof and a lot of the body lines are similar, but this one is full on. I mean, just like these trucks, right? You got all different shapes, sizes, ages, and fans are the same. Especially being close to home at a car show like this, and there's so many people, they're just like, yeah, dude, love the show, keep on trucking. See what I did there? Truck yeah. Well, you know I'm a bit biased, but I mean, it is a truck, right? That's why it's here. It's got all the goodies. I love this. I mean, I love the Peterbilts, I love the Kenworths, the flat face ones, anything like this. Just look at this thing. It's like a freaking building standing in front of you. You just tell them Large Marge sent you. My favorite thing is to walk around looking for that one thing I haven't seen before. And I see this curved glass, you know, quarter window pickup truck, and they pop out. They're ventilated. I don't know much about accessories, but that one's new to me. Wait a second. Is this thing even a truck? I think they're bending the rules a little bit here. It was a truck. I mean, 1923, this was a truck. Oh, look at this thing. I don't even know what to say. It is a Suburban, 1955. When they're stock, it's something, but when they're stock and lowered, forget about it. Look at this thing, man. I mean, king of the boulevard. Super cool. This rig is pretty stealthy. In talking with the fellow that put it together, it's got so many things done to it. The hood has been nosed down a bit. He's got flush mount windows in the sides. He's got cameo taillights on it. It's a really subtly radical vehicle. All I can say is I think I just found my element. This little corner of the room is where it's at. Ah, look at this van. Hey Jeff, good to see you. Hope you watched the show. I mean, did you even grow up in the 70s if you don't know about Evel Knievel, who dared to jump the Snake River Canyon? This actually reminds me a lot of my Uncle Frenchie's van. I keep this with me every day. Look at that, seeing that as a 10-year-old boy with the pirate on the side. He had the cedar interior, he had a cannon in the door, he had the CB where you could talk out of the front grille. I saw Uncle Frenchie's van and I was knocked out. I was like, you guys are building this in the garage? All I could say is like, he was just a cool cat. You know, all my father, my uncles, they're all relatively, you know, workaday kind of guys, family guys. And Uncle Frenchie was like, I'm building a custom van. I was like, yes. Little did he know the monster he created, following in your footsteps, sir. If you gotta sum up trucks in general, this show is it. So it's got my brain spinning. It's just a vibe, you know, spend a day in Truckville. This gathering was next level. I can't imagine what's gonna happen next time. It's time to get back to the lab. Anybody home? Speaking of trucks, out of the blue, I get a call from my friend Tom. This project and I have a little bit of unfinished business.
Hey,
How's
Ian.
it going?
How you doing?
I know you said you made some progress, but wow.
It's a driver. It runs.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
It runs really good too.
This thing looks great. It's a 1942. It was a military truck, a long bed, just a big utility vehicle, and he got a little wild with it. He shortened the entire chassis, bobbed off the bed. I did a chop top, little hot rod 6-cylinder engine. He's like, no, it's not a hot rod. It's not a street truck. It's a toy. Think of it as a giant toy truck. All I could say was, yeah, you're preaching to the choir, sir. I gotta say, I do love the big puffy tires, but these are cool too. Like you're saying, it's like the model kit where it's dual purpose, right?
The truck is going to be this color right here. See the yellow in there?
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm actually thinking
That's a
about
bold
putting
choice.
fenders on it too, so that there's a little bit of color down here too.
Well, again, like you're saying, it's dual purpose, right? So if you're taking it to the dunes, you take all that business off, take the street trim off and put the buggy trim on, right?
Yeah.
I love the bed, man.
Had a friend of mine who was an excellent body man. He went ahead and cherried the bed out for me, and
Yeah, cool deal. When Tom called, he said, hey man, just a few little pieces to wrap up, and I thought, hey, perfect timing. I am knee deep in the truck business. All it's missing is a rear bumper. I see what you're saying.
my idea is like a Nerf bumper. You know what I'm talking about? It's rounded ends on it, and it's from the 50s. I think the late 50s, early 60s, and it was, I think, originally from a race car, the backside of a race car, because they didn't have starters in them. They used to push start them.
Well, I remember these were 1.5 rounds, so I just brought some 1.5 tube
Okay.
and some bends, and maybe we'll just come up with an idea.
Okay. You're the artist, man. I'm
Well, let's not overstate things. I'd like to see this thing run. You gonna pull it in?
Sure.
Heck yeah. It's got the twice pipes. It is exactly like the toy that he was describing. I mean, he was talking about these magazines and showing me different model kits, and I'm like, yeah, dude, like that's exactly what it would look like in the 60s, no doubt. Hold on, never mind this truck. Look at this thing. This is the real deal.
That was given to me.
What?
It's a hot rod from the 30s.
Oh, wow.
During the war, they made a truck out of it for
Like
rations.
so many other ones, right?
Yeah, for war rations, yeah.
In World War II, there were gasoline rations, and as I understood, you could get more if you drove a truck. The car's been lowered a bit. It's been chopped pretty significantly, and just a really nice touch with the windshield and convertible top. And it's got that weird back end. I mean, it is technically a truck.
I think it's been chopped at least 4 inches.
At least, look how low that is. I mean, this gas tank is obviously not original. That's
Yeah, first thing I always do if I get a car is I get it running and driving.
Yeah. Crazy when an antique like this just runs.
It's cool. This thing here, we're okay with. That's the one we need to work on.
Yeah, I agree. I brought some tubes. Let me show you the bends I got. This, right? That's just about where you want to be. It really fills out the back of the truck. Right, so this would come in and turn down below the license plate, and then the bottom part would reverse like that.
Yeah, just put a little spacer in there, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's a great idea, Ian, right there.
After laying out a few ideas, it seems like we got a good jumping off point with these large bends. That would look pretty cool, no?
No, I like it. No, I like it, yeah.
You heard the boss. Commence the building, Captain. That's the first part of it. It's gonna need 2 vertical bars where the chassis grabs this bumper, so if we do that, that'll keep it locked. Not only will the vertical bars support the bumper hoop, they will act as the mount to the chassis. And to my eye, the spacing looks like it can be improved on. So our chassis is as wide as this, right?
Yeah.
I feel like if we have our uprights this close to the end, it's gonna look funny, but the closer we can bring them into center, it'll look more proportional with our little detail in here, you know?
Yeah.
You know, we could favor it out to here. How do you feel about that?
I'll be honest with you, I have no
Are you
idea.
all right?
You're losing me, Ian. Usually you don't lose me, but you lost me.
This happens every time, man. See, my mind thinks in obtuse dimensions. My workflow style is purely alone. So I get a good idea in the heat of the moment, I execute it. I guess the flip side of that is not really being able to describe myself that well. No, dude, we're just gonna do this, that, and the other thing. It's gonna be fine, trust me.
This bumper's coming out cool. I'm liking it.
It's more art than it is function, right?
That's what I said, you're an artist, man. Oh yeah, look at that.
It's not such a big high boy now.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
drops it down a little bit.
I like it. I like that, yeah.
Good answer. The other answer might not.
I almost don't want to open it up now. What the heck? Let's hang the plate in there and see what happens.
It might be pretty slick if the plate just floated, like it didn't even attach to the bumper, you know? It was off the chassis just sitting there with a cool frame around it.
Man, now you're confusing me, Ian. What the heck?
Joe Schmo's Raceway, see you on Saturday. And that's kind of why I wanted to start this, because it's like, man, that has such a uniform, you know, feel to it. Would this have like a lot of busy metalwork on it because it's such a simple truck? I don't know.
Yeah.
This is all part of the creative debacle. I mean, once you change one thing, you sometimes got to change everything. Just like with the back, we made some progress, but in the front, like anything's possible, man. Style-wise, think about it. I mean, we could do another mini tube bumper like that for the front. Could be V'd out, could be a single tube. We could do 15 tubes. Anything can happen.
My mind's all over the place now because of that. It is.
Honest Ian's Bumper Building Service, here to consult and confuse on the daily. I gave Tom a bit of time just to give the old stare down and see how he's feeling about this bumper. If you want to keep this as we built it, then it's as simple as just attaching it to some mounts.
I like it just like it is.
I still think it looks like some kind of workout equipment or something.
It looks just like something Ed Roth would have built back in the 60s.
Straightforward enough. We could just make some nice brackets, you know, make it look discreet, like we were talking about maybe that floating license plate in the center.
I'm gonna wait until you've got that completely mounted before I even start thinking about the license plate. If it's centered down there, it may not be centered from here.
Now you're talking my language, like the great sculptors of days gone by. When the figure is on top of the building, the head is actually out of proportion. It's bigger.
Oh, yeah,
because you're looking at it like that.
Yeah.
It's all so delicate. I mean, angles, distance, size. How could one possibly take it all in?
Well, actually, I'm just gonna have my wife come out and tell me, that looks good. Rank, do it.
Sometimes that works too.
Yeah.
Yeah, grab those 2 pieces of wood and let's clamp this thing back on. The old 2 fingers on the knuckle. There it is.
Yeah, that looks it right there.
So in the end, that's what it adds up to. 2 simple, discrete brackets, welded inside and out.
No, I love that thing. It looks like something out of one of my old 60 hot rod magazines.
Agreed.
The surprise for me was the way you mounted it. I did not see that coming, and I like that. Way cleaner. You don't have all this busyness down here now.
Yeah, he likes it. By golly, he likes it.
Look at that bumper. You like the way the taillights are positioned?
Yeah, I mean, I love the traditional lights, but you know, what if there was like a round thing? That to me says like 60s.
Yeah. I kind of like that idea.
Do you have an old trailer light or anything laying around?
Oh, heck yeah. Do I got an old taillight hanging around? Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, that's like the time period too, man.
Yeah.
Right in there, just about centered.
Well, I may get custom on you, huh?
That's what I'm saying. If it was my truck, I'd have these taillights. In the meantime, I'm gonna get into this front bumper design and Tom's gonna hang the license plate. Well, since I have free reign, I could get obnoxious with it. Big Cadillac bumper with the Dagmars. I mean, anything's possible. Or, I was thinking like the 32 Roadster traditional kind of look. You know, it's got that grille with the little peak in the front, so why overcomplicate things, right? Maybe just a little bar that comes to a V point that matches the angle of that grille. Just give it a little aggressive stance. I think in a lot of circumstances, the end result is just being simple. Sometimes less, a lot of times less is more. It's a little trick, that way it's just a hidden nut. Yeah, so it's just welded to a washer, set it in the tube like such. If all my calibrations are correct, this thing might just bolt on. Yeah, man, how about that?
I like it. Looks good.
Nice and clean, right?
Yeah, that's usually the best way.
Yeah, see, once you got that grill on, right? Boom, then you got that whole V shape really represented. Nothing like seeing a project in motion, especially at a distance, you know, you really get to take it all in. Heck yeah.
Oh, look at that bumper from here, man. It's cool.
It's really fun, you know, building a car, but it's driving them is when you really feel the flavor come out. And this one's got a ton of personality. This thing corners like a forklift. Look at the turns it does. Super fun.
I'm thinking of doing those taillights like you said.
Yeah, man, one piece at a time. You're closer than you were yesterday.
Oh yeah, I'm getting there.
Another satisfied customer. Now it's back to Mr. Bill's to see what's going on with Old Orange. Back out here at Bill's Ranch, and he says the truck is ready to rock.
Well, there's your pickup. Had my guys do a little work on it.
Yeah.
Doesn't it look great?
I love how they treated the paint.
Yeah, my full guy does a good job.
Yeah, no kidding. Look at that roof. It's like it was never even changed.
Yep, the roof is perfect.
Cool job. It was really interesting to me how they kind of faux finished the front and rear bumpers to match the roof cap. Pretty slick stuff. Because when you open the door, it's like the dashboard and the top, they make a statement together.
Yep.
That's really what I was hoping for. There's something about the white paint, when I put that new skin on, it's just like, wow, it kind of brightens the whole truck up. It's interesting. By leaving that factory seam between the window and the roof cap and putting the weld in that nondescript area, slapping new drip rails on both sides, it worked out pretty clean.
Oh, it's great. Drip rails were non-existent.
Yeah.
You know, it makes these projects so much better if you have a parts or a donor. I mean, look at everything you got off that donor truck.
The big bonus here was the donor truck. Not only did it have the roof sheet metal and a couple other accessories, it had this pristine windshield in it as well. One other thing about the donor truck was it had these cool side view mirrors, and they just scream, you know, California custom truck scene from back in the day. Standing in the back of the truck looking forward, I would see these bumpers hanging out past the fenders, and I thought, well, we're really inside on the rear. We got to tuck that front in as well. This stamped line takes a hard turn right here, right? That looks cool, but then this thing is just kind of flying way out. What if we could get that bumper to match that as closely as possible? This is gonna turn something like that. I think one of the goals with customizing is to make the vehicle more seamless, make it look like a lot less has been added on. This bumper does have a more molded to the body shape now than being accessorized. The key mandate with this from the start has been like old school, survivor, kind of stock, but different.
I love the back bumper instead of the big clunker commercial diamond plate thing that was on there.
The chrome was the only thing bothering me about this back bumper, so I love what they did. It just looks like it was always there. I don't even know where that came from. I can't wait for the person that tells you.
Yeah.
I love the wheels and tires too. It looks like it should be that way.
Yeah. It's just some subtle things you did, and it's a survivor. It's great. I love everything about it. I wouldn't change a thing. Sometimes it's better just to leave it alone. Hard for you to do.
I didn't say that, but it worked this time.
I want you to take it for a ride. It runs good.
I want to know what 1962 feels like.
There you go. Purrs like a kitten.
Sure does. This thing sounds good. The cool thing about this truck is it's got a V8 in it from the factory. This truck's got a lot of torque. Man, manual steering, manual brakes, roll-up windows. That's what's happening. It's interesting, you step into this thing and it's like a time machine. All of a sudden, Bill's telling me war stories from back in the day. He's having flashbacks. I tell you, 1962 was a mighty fine year.
Yes, sir.
I've driven a lot of different vehicles, but there's something about the pickup trucks in the 60s, they really hit a different stride. They went from this almost tractor-style driving, like very archaic, to this thing, even with a solid axle, it's got smoothness and it's got power. I'm not sure what it is specifically about trucks, but it's kind of like the family dog, right? Where it's just like, it's always there, it's always reliable. It's just a unique thing. gotta say, it's authentic, man.
Yeah, I think it's a keeper, Ian.
Bill is one happy customer, I gotta say. You could tell in the tone of his voice when he's satisfied and he's like, yeah, this is just what I needed. Everything about him has always sort of been the same way. He's like, not as wild as you, man. It's like, I like some cool stuff, I like custom stuff, but let's not get too far. It's interesting how things stack up. There was a lot of trucks going on in the past month or so, so I don't know, maybe I'm getting the itch. Might be time for one for myself.